Today, I'm talking about Top Gun Maverick. It's a sequel to a movie that came out in 1986. It comes from director Joseph Kosinski. It's Tom Cruise's first movie since Mission Impossible Fallout, and for Miles Teller, it's his first appearance on the big screen since Only the Brave, a movie that, oddly enough, was also directed by Joseph Kosinski. Nearly 4 decades after the first film, Pete Mitchell is still flying high, but when he's tasked with training a group of younger fighter pilots, Maverick starts feeling the heat. For those who don't know, I'm not a big fan of the original Top Gun. I don't think it's a good movie. I talked about it in a video last week. I have no idea why people refer to it as an iconic 80s movie and one of the best of that decade. I don't agree whatsoever. I think it's fine, but definitely a movie that is, if anything, forgettable. So going into Top Gun Maverick, I was a little bit worried. I did not have high hopes for this movie after the original. Funny enough, I wasn't anticipating this movie one bit. It didn't even make my honorable mentions for most anticipated movies of the year. But luckily, my friends, just like Mission Impossible Fallout, Top Gun Maverick blew me away. This is hands down the best movie I've seen in 2022 thus far. It'll be a tough one to top. No pun intended. Now, even though there are plenty of things that make this a great movie on its own, I will still be making comparisons between the original and this one, because Top Gun Maverick is exactly what the original should have been, except the original is everything the sequel isn't. The sequel is by far a better movie. It's not even close. So I'm curious now what people think of the original compared to the sequel. Do they think the original is still as iconic as it is? Or do they think the sequel blows that one out of the water? To start, Top Gun Maverick, unlike the first movie, has a concrete plot. Pete Mitchell is given a task. He has to train these younger fighter pilots for a mission, but the only issue is one of those fighter pilots happens to be Goose's son. Then we get these immaculate training sequences that each have a purpose, and then it's topped off with this amazing finale, plus a little romance is sprinkled in there like the original movie. Every single scene builds off itself, creating a mesmerizing watch. In the first movie, Maverick goes to Top Gun, does a bunch of training sequences which don't add up to anything, then Goose dies, and then the finale just happens out of nowhere after he ponders retirement. And then we have that little stupid romance, which I still don't like. The first movie doesn't have a plot. The second movie has a plot. And with a pretty well laid out plot comes great character arcs and actual emotion. Believe it or not, I cared about Maverick in this movie. I cared about Miles Teller's character, Rooster. They do so much to honor the character of Goose in this film by creating a great storyline and slight rivalry between Rooster and Maverick's characters. Which is another reason why Top Gun Maverick is a great sequel. It pays homage to the original and creates tension by building storylines even more from that first movie. It seems to me like a lot of people's biggest problem with Maverick is its story. They say it's basic. I completely disagree. I love the story of Maverick. I think it is vastly better than the original story. Plus, this movie's fighter pilot training sequences actually have a purpose. And every training sequence is different. We don't see the same thing 10 times in a row. But what truly separates Maverick's fighter pilot training sequences from the originals is the cinematography. This is some of the best shot action sequences I have ever seen. The original training sequences are boring to watch, whereas this one immerses you into the action and takes you for a ride in the air. It makes for a visceral theater experience, and even though these are mostly training sequences, I still had a blast. I had so much fun watching these fighter pilot sequences. I don't think I've had this much fun at the theater since Mission Impossible Fallout. The banter is great as well. I love the cast. It was incredible to see Tom Cruise return as Pete Mitchell. Definitely should have seen him return as a character years ago, but hey, it is what it is. Miles Teller, too, stole the show, and seeing Val Kilmer reprise his role as Iceman was also great. Everyone is really good in Top Gun Maverick, and the final 30 minutes glued me to my seat. I don't think I took my eyes away from the screen. That is masterful film work. The final 30 minutes is one of the best action sequences I've seen in a very long time. So guys, Top Gun Maverick is an excellent sequel. It's up there for one of the greatest sequels ever made. The only issue I have with the movie, just like the first one, is the romance with Jennifer Connelly. Is it necessary? No. But it's there, probably to appeal to more audiences. This film, from beginning to end, is a true summer blockbuster, and I am giving Top Gun Maverick a 90%. Alright, for those of you who also happen to see Top Gun Maverick in theaters this past weekend, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. Do you think it's one of the best sequels of all time, or do you still prefer the original over this one? And of course, as always, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.